Hello all 1,620 of you, I'm Redkwan, and I'm just curious as to whether you've heard of me before. Hopefully not, because that means I can lie to you about who I am and you won't know the difference. Now if you don't know me, suffice it to say, I'm the premier video game theorism channel on YouTube, and I specialize in clickbaiting people hard. Although the term I prefer is enticing the viewer. Now, I figure I could tell you how to make a video game theory video step by step, but I think it'd be more fun to show you how I do it by making one right before your very eyes. It's like the old saying, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day, teach a man to fish and you give him a chore for a lifetime. Actually, I'm not sure that's very applicable. Well, whatever, that's not really important. What is important is that Mario is actually Zelda. I mean Link. I know what I'm talking about, stop your yapping. Now this is the part where you cue the music that really overplays how dramatic this situation is. Perfect. Now you might say, Mario is Link? What do you mean? And this right here is the key to starting a successful theory. You should be taking notes on this. You need to take a beloved series and say something about it that doesn't make any sense. And I've really got a double whammy here because I've taken two beloved series and made something that doesn't make any sense. I know it seems impossible to do something that ingenious, and I'll be honest, it isn't easy. It takes years of careful training to get near the level I'm at, and I don't think it's possible to ever get quite as good as me because a lot of it is just due to natural gifts, really. But with a whole lot of dedication, you can come up with things like this too. But to make a good theory, you have to back the claim up with loose pieces of evidence. Watch and learn. So Mario and Link, they look different, they talk different, they act different. How are they the same? Well, you're just overlooking some facts that only a truly amazing person would see. Now obviously Link isn't Mario at the time he's Link. I mean, think about it, he can't be in two places at once, stupid. But then if you think about it a little deeper, you realize something. Mario is Link when Link grows up. It makes too much sense. Now you might think at first that Mario actually grows up to be Link, because we see baby Mario and also because there are still dinosaurs in Mario, and that's where you'd be wrong and stupid and bad. Because actually, if we look at some obscure quote from Nintendo from over a decade ago, baby Mario isn't actually Mario, but is rather a baby who rose to fame because of his resemblance to Mario and basically leached off him. Plus, if they were the same person, how could they race at the same time in Mario Kart? You guys are just a bunch of blockheads for not seeing that one. I'm not trying to be insulting, but it's like really true. Plus, if we see Link with swords, and Mario doesn't have swords, and as we all know, swords are old, clearly Link is from the past. Nintendo even gave us a hint with the famous game Link to the Past. Sometimes I feel like I just had to spell everything out for you guys. Plus, the new Mario games are called New Super Mario Bros., and that's pretty new in the title. Mario is the new Link, and it goes even deeper because Nintendo left a little hint in terms of meals. Now, what do you think of when you look at Links? Sausage Links, a common breakfast side dish. What does Nintendo put in front of every Mario game? Super or supper. Supper sounds pretty close to supper, doesn't it? It wasn't a mistake. Breakfast is the beginning. Supper, which you're for you entitled millennial hunks of trash who don't know what supper is, that one comes at the end. Link comes before Mario, plus Mario's Link after his metabolism slows down and he packs on the pounds. Now here's the part where you actually need to explain the main point of your theory. Now this is always the hardest part because I usually come up with the clickbait, or enticing of the viewer before I actually figure out why any of it fits together. But once you watch this demonstration, I think you'll see exactly how to go about doing it. It makes perfect sense to me that Link would come before Mario, but why would you say that they're the same person in the first place? Now just remember to come up with something that makes enough sense to be passable, and use the rest of the video to make it sound like a good argument by showing how you can decently patch up any major flaws. So Mario is Link because they share one common feature that basically confirms this theory. They both hardly ever talk. Hardly anyone talks as little as these two guys. Link basically says nothing, and Mario only ever talks when he feels the need to introduce himself with his "It's me Mario" jingle. Otherwise, they make some sort of cheering sounds like Link's "Wah!" and Mario's "Wahoo!" And the only other video game character that I could think of that does that is Charizard, and he's not even a person. Now here's where you think they address the main issues with your theory with some loose justification, and I usually like to sprinkle in some insults just to make the viewer feel bad for ever questioning your theory in the first place. Now the first thing is that you think about is that they look completely different. Mario seems much fat, but I already explained that because he also has a bigger, rounder nose and large round ears. But if you know anything, which I feel like you probably don't if you're asking such a stupid question, your nose and ears are made of cartilage, so they can't change shape and stuff whenever. Plus, I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that they grow your whole life, so that's why Mario's are bigger. Plus is an 80s megastar. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Mario has had extensive plastic surgery, and the important things are the same, like they both have blue eyes. What are the accents, you say? Well, if you're going to keep asking questions, any person with an ounce of brain in their head could figure out. Clearly, Mario moved to Italy and picked up the accent. But you have more issue, right? How did Mario pick up the skill to become plumber? Well, I think it's pretty obvious that Mario learned all about plumbing system for fixing the water temple. But I suppose simpletons might not catch on so quick. Now, after you've completed all the evidence from the theory, you really have to end on a deep note. So I like to make a short summary of what we found out and make it seem like it was really, really important. It's hard to get right, but I think it really sells the end. Mario is Link. Well, I'm Redkwan. This was quite the video, eh? I'll get back to my normal video game theories soon enough, but I just thought it would be nice to show people how to do their own, because I'm just that great of a guy. And if you did know who I was, then forget you saw this. Anyways, I'm Redkwan. Thank you all for watching, and I'll hopefully see you all later. Goodbye.